Here's the ultimate guide to making your rhythm sound like real Kompa. And wait for it, because this next part will blow your mind. But first, here's what you shouldn't do. If you're trying to get that Kompa Haitian style, I see a lot of beginners, they just do a basic strum like this. You know, they just play. And this right here is not good. Here's what you should do instead. Now, if you want this type of result, you're gonna get this down today. And like I said, it only involves 3 steps. But before I review you those 3 steps, more proven methods that actually get you results, sign up for the free program down below. It's packed with guides, classes, everything you need to help you improve at Kompa. If I was you, I wouldn't miss it. Now, here's how I do this 3-step framework. Today, you'll get this down. Let's say if you're a beginner, I'm gonna just show you an easy chord so it doesn't be that difficult for you. So we're gonna start with the E minor chord. All you're doing for the E minor, middle finger on the A string 2nd fret, and ring finger on the D string 2nd fret. Whoops. Now, here's the first part of how I get this Kompa groove. Pay attention, right? The first step is I always play the bass. That's what I do. I always play the bass. So the bass strings for me are E, A, and D. Those are my bass strings. So for E minor, what you're gonna do is you're gonna play the top E string and the A string. Just those 2 strings. Now you got the first part checked off, which is great. Now, why am I even playing the bass string? Because why can't I just play the whole string? Well, the difference between American and Haitian is we Americans tend to have this ongoing strumming, right? But for the Haitian side, it's basically like it goes along with the beat. It really does go along with the beat. Here's an example. That's the first example, but if I were to do the American side, here's what it probably sound like. It's completely different. It doesn't sound right. So that's why I start with the bass as just the first part. Now, without the second part, you're not going to be able to play Kompa with chords at all. So here's how you play the second part. Pay attention closely, because this is the part where you need to pay attention the most. If you miss this part, it's done. You're not going to be able to play this. So now, once you got the first part, you want to do a simple pull-up. But when you do the pull-up, you don't want to pull up soft. You want to pull up, it's like you got to pull up hard, but don't break the strings. Don't break the strings. Just pull up harder. Here's the difference between a soft pull-up and a hard pull-up. This is a soft versus hard. And you're going to hear the difference in a minute. But I start with, then the second step is the solo strings. My solo strings are the G, B, and E string. And what I do is I pull up on just any of the strings, E and B, together. There it is, just like that. So you got the first step, and you got the second step. And just with those, you're still not completed. Here's what it'll sound like. Actually, hold on. Oh yeah, before I get to that part, let me explain to you why you have to pull up hard. So when you pull up soft, it doesn't give it that Haitian, it doesn't feel like it's there. For example, it's like you tell someone they love you, but you don't really feel it. That's what I mean. So here's an example of the soft and the hard. Here's the soft. That's the soft. But here's the hard. You're gonna definitely feel a different vibe. And that right there is a complete difference. So you probably couldn't tell much, but I'm telling you, if you do this, if you do a soft version, soft pull up versus a hard pull up, you're gonna hear a difference in the very end. It's the slightest changes that give you a whole different result during the end. Okay, I had to get that part out. Now, time for the final part. This last part is one of the most important one, because in American strumming, we basically just strum ongoing. But for my Haitians, like for the Haitian sound effect, you have to do this one move or it's just gonna sound completely off. Now that one move is basically covering the strings basically. So here's the difference between strumming. If I were just to do the bass and the step 2 is the solo strings. If I just were to do those two, it's gonna be incomplete. And here's the difference. So as you can tell, it's too loud. You could barely hear anything. That's the point. It's too much noise. If there's too much, if there's too much noise, then everyone is just. It's not gonna sound as good. It's just not gonna sound good. So here's the last step that you need. Take notes. It's gonna be crazy, guys. All right. So here's how you do the last step. The last step, simple. Watch my hand. Cover the strings. Pretty simple. That's it. And when you cover the strings, after you do step 1 and step 2, cover the strings, and you just repeat it, that's the complete cycle of the Kompa sound effect. Here's what it'll sound like when you cover the strings. So instead of having this, you have this instead. All right? You just cover the strings. Now what you do next, you just keep doing it over and over again. Just keep going over and over again. All right? And that's the basics of the basics. I haven't taught you the first level, the second level, third level. There's tons of levels. But I will first want you just to get this part down. And here's what it'll sound like with the beat. Now, this is only applying just the E minor chord. Now, imagine you already know your chords and the progressions of where to go next, and you just add the Haitian sound effect. It's gonna sound beautiful. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. But as you could tell, I was doing a whole bunch earlier, but I was like, no, let me just deal with the basics. Now I'm about to start showing up, right? But yeah, I don't want to make this video long, but that's how you do it. Now, this is the point where most of people just watch me and just don't actually try this. Give this a shot. Don't just watch me and Go sit on your couch and just watch YouTube. That's not how you get better at the guitar. Don't let your guitar just sit in the closet, be in the dust all day. Actually try this out. Take notes. Keep practicing every single day. Show up. And I promise you, you will become an expert at the guitar. All right? I'll see you in the next video.